Hey friends, we are fearless. Welcome to the podcast. My name is Frances Young, and we are here on a fearless short number 2. Before we get to this episode, I would really love for you to know what your human design energy type is, so that you can follow along with what we're talking about, whether it's an episode with a guest or it's the Fearless Shorts. You're going to go to my website, www.thefearlessprojectltd.com. You're going to input some information, and it's going to spit out something that looks a little weird. Yeah, that is called a human design body graph. It's going to tell you 3 important things that today I hope that you go forth into the rest of life, understanding what energy type means, strategy, and authority. And if not, just keep listening to the podcast. I can't wait for you to see what we talk about, what I talk about, and maybe get a laugh or two. Without further ado, so I even have this entire episode written out on my phone. That's a first. This time last week in Toronto, Canada, there was a power outage. And it was fucking funny. I start off by saying that to maybe help diffuse a little bit of the tension and the upset that every Torontonian felt last week, let alone the flooding, let alone it's a week later, folks. We survived. We did it. I know there were potential costs. In this moment, this time last week, I had a nap. I wasn't connected to the internet and data wasn't working. I got to hide from the world for a moment. That was my experience. It was very interesting. And I was actually really happy about it. I wrote this entire episode in an afternoon. There's so much I want to say. So let's see what we uncover together today. I'm having conversations as a whole about health, about the body. Health is our physical body. Health is in our mind and our thoughts. And health is our soul and our purpose of being here in this meat suit. So we have 20 minutes together on these Fearless Shorts every other week, opposite my interviews. You're going to learn about astrology today. You're going to learn about the collective energy that's surrounding us all on this planet. You're going to learn about human design so you can relate to me, figure out more things for yourself. There are some serious shifts going on right now. I'm going to put this episode into 3 pieces because I've got so many things I want to talk about. Part 1, the current astrology. Bow, bow, bow. Yes, that was my own sound effect. What the fuck is going on in the universe that is being reflected back here on Earth right now? Where is Saturn? Are we in a retrograde? What is happening? When I talk to people that might not be astrologers, just a random person or new communities I'm getting into, I love to say these 2 particular things just to differentiate them for people and so that you can even differentiate this for yourself. Astrology is the poetry of the sky and of the cosmos. It is a narrative to describe what does Saturn mean. Yes, I know it's a big ball of gas and energy and blah, 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 but like there's got to be something more to it. So astrology is poetry. It is written dance. Truly. Astronomy is the actual placement of where Jupiter is in the sky. How far is it? How many light years? What angle? At what degree? Astronomy is the physics, the numbers. Astrology is the dance. And right now, the poetry of the sky is literal chaos. I can't sugarcoat it. This episode will be released on a Friday, where we are post even further than the things that I'm currently talking about. Just during this past week experience from when this time last week I was writing this episode, I'm going to tell you what was going on last week. The planet of Mars, which is the planet that we associate with action, aggression, and war, came together in the sky in the same sign with the planet Uranus. Uranus is a planet of unexpected events. It's related to our nervous system. It's related to technology. These two planets came together in the sign of Taurus, which is called a conjunction. Aggression and unexpected events. We had flooding. We had an assassination attempt in the United States of America. There were so many unexpected things that happened last week at this time between July 14th and July 21st. There was an IT outage in multiple places of the world with Microsoft. The world, whoever is listening to this moment, if you did not experience any of these weird, aggressive, and or see unexpected events, I want to know where you are. Shout out to me. If there's a utopia planet, maybe we should go there. There was also a full moon. There was a full moon on July 21st in the sign of Capricorn. It was the second full moon in Capricorn since June of 2024. Whew, that doesn't happen often, folks, just so you know. When there is a new moon, example, the new moon in Cancer in July was July 5th. Pretty sure it was the day after Independence Day. Now that new moon begins a cycle within the themes of Cancer that does not, in air quotes, finish or come to its conclusion until 6 months post that new moon, which will be in December. So it's kind of weird and strange that we had two full moons in Capricorn within a period of time. I'm trying to reiterate the point that that is rare. So lots of big energy releasing and letting go karmic patterns around our work, around long-term foundations of something in your life. Could have just shit the bed, or something pushed you off the plank of a boat and you weren't ready for it yet. But secretly you were ready. Also, Chiron, which is an asteroid, squared the sun that was still in Cancer at the time. If you've got a lot of tenderness still coming up from last week on shit that you thought that you closed the door on, I see you. Last week was a whole rabbit hole for me on some past stuff. On the 20th of July, Mars, again, the planet of action, aggression, and war, it moved into a new sign, Gemini, which is an air sign. It's all about our mental capacity, our curiosity. Gemini is the sign of duality. So y'all know, the sun moved into Leo. Woo woo! I'm a Leo sun. Go listen to my first Fearless short and you'll figure that out. We're in a new zodiac season. Thank God. I love Cancer season, but sometimes you've had enough crying for 1 month and you want to move on. That's the astrology that's going on right now. As quickly as I wrap up, a nugget of some chaos of holy shit. End of July had a lot of, if anybody's watching my video, my one arm is vibrating and not sure if it's going to explode, if it's going to stop, if it's going to use that energy in a productive way, or if it just needs to nap. It's the middle of the summer in the Northern Hemisphere. If you are a little bit exhausted right now from going to XYZ party or trying to fit everything into your schedule and this intense energy that's going on astrologically, I give you the permission for a timeout. Part 2. How to be healthy physically, mentally, and spiritually. Finding the pillars of my business, the Fearless Project, has always been something that felt difficult because I wasn't sure how I wanted to say it to the world. I realized very young that in order to become the best dancer, it took more than just practice in the studio. Fast forward to my career in fitness, it's been the same thing. In my own health and in my clients' health, it has taken a lot of effort and sometimes pushing too much on how to say how I am different, how you should work with me. I have lost sight of the whole package of why I'm in this industry in the first place. And just actually packaging how I want to help somebody understand how to be healthy really is to look at 3 main aspects of our soul having a human experience. It's our physical container, our flesh and our bone. What is going on with that? When it comes down to it, you just need to move your body. You just need to move, honey. That's it. Then we can get specific on how your energy actually wants to move, as there is no right or wrong answer. That's what I want to begin to preach in this moment of the pillars of how do I be healthy? There can be things that work for you, and they may work at some times in your life, in air quotes, to feel physically strong and fit and the blood rushing through your veins in the way you thought you always wanted it to see that tricep flex in the mirror that you just want to see. Or there could be times where just that, going to CrossFit's not the way that your body wants to work anymore. Personally saying that because that's the way that my body, it wants to be challenged. I fucking love going to a good ass weight CrossFit class, but my body doesn't want to do that day in and day out to give me what I think I should have as a 6-pack or be the most toned fit version of me. What does your body say today to move you? If you know that you're in a period of your life where you just need a push or a change, go hire somebody. Personal trainer right here that you're listening to. Cool. Apologies for the raise of the tone of my voice. Just go hire somebody. I don't care who it is. Go to a class. That's hiring somebody. There are a lot of health professionals in the world that teach in different ways, different modalities that know their shit. Hire somebody. Ask somebody, hey, I'm looking. Ask your best friend, what's the class that you're going to right now? Do you have a routine? Reach out to your community. If not hiring somebody, you're not asking somebody first off to where do I begin? Just go outside your door for a walk. Go interact with something new. Go move your physical bones. And I assure you that your physical health will change. Our mental health, we know there is a global crisis. Where I want to go specifically on this to not get so deep down this rabbit hole is to just relay how I look at mental health currently. How we are speaking to ourselves in our brain, our own internal conversation, is ultimately the most important. The conversation our mind, our ego has with itself is in a constant process of evolution. At the end of the day, our world has been telling us that we're getting it wrong in our health, that we're getting it wrong in our business. We're not trying hard enough, that we have to self-care, and that if you're not doing self-care, well, then your physical and your mental health is going to suffer. This is, again, just another pattern of mental beatdown that is unnecessary. If we go back to moving our body, we will move and change our thoughts, even if it's 10 minutes. And you're still thinking about the same thing that you said to your mother the other day, that you're like, fuck, I was a bit. That internal conversation, even if it isn't fully changed, I know that your cells are doing a little bit better than prior to that walk. When we look at how we process our thoughts about ourselves, I am who I am in this moment, our ego, our drive, what motivates us, what worries us, our anxieties, our direction, our emotions, all of these different things, they can be looked at through our human design, the lens of human design. Honestly, once I started looking at my own mental capacity, my thoughts, how I speak to myself, and relating them to my energetic human design graph, my life has been changing on a drastic up level year after year. I can help you better understand your internal conversation through understanding your human design graph. Spirituality, the third pillar of the Fearless Project. Spirituality is such a rabbit hole, but how I'm going to speak about it right now with regards to your energy, your health, how do I be healthy in my spirituality? I'm going to draw it literally to what does your energy feel like? What does your aura feel like? What is the physical vibe that you can feel that you are giving off in this moment as you sit here listening to this podcast? What is the spiritual energy around you feeding back to you? This is your essence. This is your actual human design energy type in itself. Do you know what that is? Could you put that into words? To me finding out what human design was, some people would sometimes say to me, "Friend, like you kind of acting like a kid today," or "You just got this like energy about you." I just love being around you. Those would be words that I would get. Then I learned what my human design energy type was, and that literally is and are those things. I am a generator. If you're doing what you love, when you do what you love as a generator, you are boundless, joyful, excitable. If you're a manifester and you're doing what you want to do, that's the person I want to look up to at a podium marching to their own beat. That is electric. Dude. Manifesting generators, when you put any limiting belief to the side and believe that everything that you want to do is possible, all of those things happen. I've seen it. It's incredible. Reflectors, when you're allowing your life to just literally feel like a movie, put you in awe every day of the things that your physical container is capable of and the people that come in and out of your life, that's the wow. Wow. Trisha, I'm thinking about you. And projectors, the way that you naturally analyze the world is genius. I don't understand it, but I know that it's genius. If any of the ways that I described these energy types, these 5 auras that we have in human design, if anything sounds a little bit like you, if you do not know your energy type, swear it's you. Just go look up your energy type now to confirm. It's not wrong that you're designed this way. It's not weird that you feel this way. This energy wants to shine through you in this way so that you can unleash and feel the most physically fit, feel that you're not fighting your thoughts as a human, and that your energy just gets more electric and true and healthy when you allow yourself to be this fearless. Part 3. We're going to wrap up shortly. Yes, we go down random musings. We've done that. We've said some astrology shit. We've talked about the pillars of my business and how I view how to be healthy and incorporating that with human design. Last but not least, what do I fear most in life right now? When I recorded my first Fearless short, I was very vulnerable, very open. Today, we're going to go down the same hole. But if anybody can tell, my energy is completely different today, about to reflect on what I said last time and where I am now. And even when this gets released. This week, honestly, when I was filming my first short, I said that I fear that the next person I date will not be my husband. Today, that kind of just feels like a bit of a joke. Not because do I maybe know yet that I've met him or not? I don't know. I honestly don't. But I've taken myself off dating apps. I realized that being on the one that I was on was actually giving me some low-level anxiety. I was having a lot of disrupted sleep. And for the first time living in a new home for about a month and a half, I gave myself some compassion, some love, allowed myself to cry. We got all sappy because I was pretty emotional about it. But the fear is shifting. Now that I'm off the app, my sleep is better. I'm not really afraid about my dating life. I'm not really afraid about putting food on my table. I'm not really afraid about the debt that I'm working on paying off right now. I'm not really afraid of anything. I'm almost coming to laughter as maybe a bit of a release, but a bit of why do we have fear anyways? Today, as I record this, I actually feel fucking fearless. I actually feel the trueness of who I am. Today, I have a better internal conversation. My mental health has gone through its ups and downs of the day, but we're here now recording, and I have struggles, of course. I actually listed some of them out. Being single can be a struggle. It's also fucking great. Working on paying off debt while figuring out where your business is going for the 10 millionth time is a struggle. But if I put myself into a mind frame of I can't do it and I'm fearful, well, I feel like it's a mic drop moment for all the types of nuggets that I've already relayed in this episode. When we have fear about something we're dealing with, it repels the actual solution coming to us. So in a different mind frame and a different energy coming out of my body in this moment, I do want to relay to somebody who's listening that as much as the fears that you may have, they are real, and I honor that. But it does not control you and it does not own you. So what do I fear most? Not even death today. Not even death. Yo! I'd like to leave you with a reframe as to how to look at yourself with a little more fearlessness. Once upon a time, I did a meditation. This was a few years ago. Coming out of this meditation, something was very clear from my body. My body told me to fear itself less. You do not have to be afraid of the intuition that your body is speaking to you. You can fear yourself less. You can love yourself more. And I promise you that life is going to show you the rest.